Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just That I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we continued the MSQ whilst by stopping a summoning of Garuda, and today we are going to go and see if we can stop a summoning of Titan as a giant lightning horse flies past. I heard Great Father Titan loves crystals, cherishes, covets, loves them, and if we gather enough, he will return. That's why the Patriarch told everyone to go forth and gather them. So I was thinking, if you take all the crystals away, maybe the Great Father won't come. Very good, Gabu. I was just thinking the same thing. Do you know where these crystals are stored? I know. Oh, several spots, each defended by a different order. Gabu wanted to steal them, but he was too afraid to go alone. Yes, too afraid to go alone. But together we can take them away and hide them. Come. Gabu will lead you to the first cache. Right. Time to go and get those crystals. Quickly. Yoink. Do you have them all? Good. Lead on, Gabu. This way. Gabu is ridiculously small. The good type of small. I mean, is there a bad type of small? Time is short. If you have the crystals, we should move on to the next cache. Do you hear me, brother? Brother? Aye, it's just a... I'm quite certain that crate once bore its guardian seals. Someone took great pains to remove all traces, but enough remains to make out a pattern. See for yourself. I struggle to imagine kobolds traveling to curses to obtain crystals, much less bother to conceal their origins. I suspect these crystals were smuggled into Vilbrand by another party, most likely a pawn of the Asians, as Thancred speculated. I have to sneeze. There you go. I don't understand. Who are the Asians? Do they worship Great Father Titan too? Ah, never you mind about that. As Odyssey said, we do not have a lot of time. Can you lead us to the next cache, Gabu? Yes, of course, Gabu knows the way. This next one is the last, and is very large, very big, very huge, very large. That's a huge bitch. Ah, yes. I demonetized my own video again. Yeah, I have a talent for that, actually. Though you cast about for a time, you see no sign of the crystals. Confound it. What about you, Lyn? Any chance? Or any luck? Nothing, but this cannot be. Gabu saw them, spotted saw. Think, brothers, think. They must have moved them, yes? The question is where to and why. Within Ogomoro, where they summoned Titan once before and mean to do so again. It is the only explanation. What about Mother and Father and the others? We have to help them. And we will, Gabu. We will. Stay calm. We still have time. They have yet to call for the remaining crates, yes? If they had, then they would have found the other caches empty and sounded the alarm. Nevertheless, I believe the time for stealth has passed. We must breach the navel and seize the remaining crystals. There's no other way to prevent Titan summoning. But first, give me your crystals, and I might deliver them into Commander Bloedin's custody. We dare not take them into the bowels of the mountain. Right. The crystals then, if you would be so kind. Large quantity of crystals intended for Titan summoning. Thank you. I shall deliver them to Camp Overlook for safekeeping and brief Commander Bloedin on the situation. Pray go on ahead. As I recall, there is an aetheryte within the Ogomoro mines. Mines that should deliver you to the navel. Gabu doubtless knows the way. Wait for me there. I shall rejoin you anon. Strange. I would have thought you eager to remain in the thick of the action. But if this is what you would prefer, then Godspeed, brother. This way. I hate this place. I hate this place. Ah, I take it this is the Aetheryte we seek? Right then. As soon as Alphino arrives, we go. I trust you're feeling suitably heroic, Lynn. There's no telling what sort of resistance we'll face in there. Resistance! Voice acted, hopefully? Question mark? Really? Okay. Quickly, you clods, briskly, swiftly, quickly. I would not suffer any further delays. Lay down your arms and surrender. We have your crystals. There will be no summoning this day. Overdwellers here, but how did you? Where are my parents, Patriarch? Where are they? Mother? Father? Coke for the furnace, you monster! How could you? Aye, we are but servants to the Lord of Crags. We are his, that he may drink of our blood and partake of our flesh, that he might draw upon the strength of his children and defend them from the tyranny of the Overdwellers. No, Alizé, not yet. I understand, Patriarch, I do. Your fear, your anger, your hate. You would do anything to protect your people, anything to deliver them from despair, whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten you can never do so again. But in your single-minded pursuit of this objective, you have brought suffering on your own kith and kin. You have sacrificed the lives of the very people you sought to protect. But it need not be this way, Patriarch. Renounce this bloody course. Cease your attempts to summon your god and work with us together to build a lasting peace. Another peace to be abandoned at the Overdweller's convenience? Oathbreakers, all of you liars, betrayers, oathbreakers. You take, and when you have had your fill, you sue for peace. You promise that this time is the last, until you grow hungry again. And when we dare to defend ourselves, you declare that this beast tribe cannot be suffered to live, and that our god drains the land of Ether and brings naught but suffering, death, destruction, suffering upon us all. I will hear no more lies from you and yours, Overdweller. You've ruined your own lands. You'll not ruin ours. I said I'd come for you, and I did. I'm here. I'm here. Say something, please. Please. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, and so on. Seven hells. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Alphino, leave him to me. You must away. Right at 12. How could I be so foolish? Should have known better than to let Gabu accompany us, given what we were like to find. His anguish and despair have served to birth the primal, just as surely as would the supplications of the faithful. Worse, being born of such tumultuous emotion, this incarnation of Titan seems incapable of naught but violence. If we have one cause for optimism, it is that while many crystals were present, they represented but a fraction of the quantity intended for the summoning ritual, meaning that Titan must be far weaker than planned. Be it as it may, he is yet a primal, and the longer we leave him to bleed the land of ether, the stronger he will grow. And should Titan be permitted to leave Agomero, more lives will be lost. The Maelstrom will rally their troops and the cycle will continue. Then, you know it must be done. Will you face the Lord of Cracks once more? Thank you, my friend. Arzay and I will tend to Gabu. When you have finished with the Primal, look for us in Camp Overlook. He'll be expecting you. And yes, we get to confront Titan again in the hard version. I do have level 80 gear, so I'm gonna equip that for White Mage. Sure. I cannot change my Gleam, right? No, it doesn't really matter too much anyway. Where are you? Well, I guess next on the list would in theory be Dragoon. But I don't think the thing is, I know how this works. So I'm gonna do this as a healer in Unsync. I'm just gonna do this in Unrestricted Party. There's no point in showing this off in the traditional way. But there is a difference. And the difference lies in what Titan says. Which is very intriguing. And also pretty sad. I would have liked it if they gave this like an instance kind of deal. Instead of having to redo the hard fight again. It's a little bit lazy. And here it is. This is the reason why I wanted to have a healer, so I can get rid of his damage down. You know, after the jail is done killing me. Or trying to kill me, that is. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. I also go and heal myself like 3 times, so I can use the Lily of Doom. I feel like it's at least like slightly more applicable to it, that you can now like kill Titan a lot easier because of your higher level. Right. Let us continue our story. Ah, there she is. Did I not tell you she would return safe and sound? The deed is done then? Titan is no more? Good. There has been enough tragedy this day. He has been like this since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the Primal's influence, should that prove to be the case. He must be put to death like any other thrall. Such is the Alliance's policy, yes. You have the right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Izael's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted the Ishgard's peace. Sorry. We can but watch, wait and pray. There's not to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one that may never come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Blodin of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Should we be so kind as to break it to him? Ah, your side for so worse. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst. But they said you had matters well in hand. All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it, but not half as glad as my men will be, believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal, and there ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like, we all prepared for to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you'll all have places to be, but why not stay tonight? We'd be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane. I think this is voice acted then.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. It's so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences. Yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. But when Grandfather revealed the whole truth of the calamity to us, I finally understood. And I resolved there and then to continue his legacy in my own way. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger, of you. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
Oh boy. The pleasure of fighting myself. I'll pick the one with the skin and the tail.
Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk. I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts, and thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardor belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw her out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Good story. Anyway. What ho? Why? Whatever. What ho, Lynn? I trust you had a good night's rest. I was at this moment speaking with Thancred and Y'shtola via Linkpearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates, which had once borne Ishgardian seals. It would seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes that it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found, but we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with Ishgardian crystals. And with that in mind, I suggest we pay Urianger another... Wait, where is Alizé? She was there a moment ago with Bagu. Bagu? Gabu. God damn it. Ah, let me guess, it's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. It is, if it is any consolation, I have already packed my things. How is he? Brother, Commander Bloden, something tells me you're not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there's been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with that same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander? And treat him with every kindness? He's still in there, I know it. Beneath the anguish and the despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given a chance. Until he comes back to us. Until we know for certain what has become of him. Oh, you needn't worry. If he hadn't twisted his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and or we'll mail some command. I'm sorry, Gabu. I truly am. You should never have been made to. And I know I cannot possibly understand. Maybe there's nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill up again with your love for them. And never, ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them. And you, Alizé. Thank you. Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. A 1,000 times over, there will be a reckoning. Pray return to the waking sands. God. Fucking. No. Time for me to yawn. Oh. Insert pufferfish noise. That's such a good noise. The oh. It's a bit difficult to make. At least for me. But man, is it a good noise. I have heard the glad tidings from Mogomera, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Limzalaminza may rest easy. I should like to think so, yes. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Crags from manifesting, we did succeed in awakening him, enabling our friends to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. It was by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Let us speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavy on my lady's mind. As thou didst request, I sought out the Jeren oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation. The oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own, apart yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. 7 times have they succeeded. Then, of 10 and 3, only 6 worlds remain. Aye, all this is my lady Minfilia spake unto thee. As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined. Frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul surrendereth to her call, to flow unto the endless sea, there to endure as one and none. Then if the Warriors of Darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die? In essence, aye. The verse speaketh of the renunciation of the flesh and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner of the Warriors of Darkness described, it could give way unto a void wherein none may know either life or death. Far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew, saved, such at least is their belief, I surmise. If that is true, then, gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on this subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. To seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of a certain Alamegan parties. Alamegans? Strange. And you believe this to be the work of the same Guardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Unless thou wonder at their motives, I would remind you that the Ascians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Rhalgr. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Elin Ryu's network of spies. Surely you jest, and yet it is not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Ascians, assuming they even know or care who their new employers are. All of which is irrelevant. Forgive me. We must seek out the resistance group, which received the crystals without delay. Lynn, Alize, will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves, firsthand. May you ever walk in the crystal, in the light of the crystal of the light. Yes. Elfino Alize, Lynn, are you 3 listening? Good, I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. Cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded a confirmation that they were in the employ of, I hope you are sitting down, a man in black robes. Then you have them, and the crystals too? What few remained, regrettably it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in the hours before we struck. It was bound for Little Alamigo, we are told, where it will be received by members of a local resistance group. Since Sir Emmerich's men no longer have need of my services, I have a mind to head that way. As do we, by happy coincidence. We learned of the shipments but a few moments ago. Huh, I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and her little helpers. Wait a moment, there's more, and I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the employ of one Elin Ryu, the infamous Ivy herself. Once again, Thancred, I fear I must inform you that... Thancred, with whom else have you shared this information? About the smugglers? No one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Nishtoa next, but... Is there someone else you might have me notify first? No, there isn't. Really, Alpha? No? Just not gonna say anything to that? What in the world has gotten into her? It is twice now that we have sought Orianja's aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of Grandfather's most dedicated pupils and spent as much time at the Lavier estate as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later, though. Little Alamigo waits. Come on, Alfino, I thought you were sharper than that, buddy. Joke's on me. He's apparently not. Oops. I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me. It has been a long day. Did you have something to say? Oriange? Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head. Now more than ever. Listen then, if anything should happen, it should be me who... Just know that I'm prepared to do what must be done. Right then, to more pressing matters. Since we have no idea when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. So to review, we are reliably informed that members of the Alamegan resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals, our task being to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the settlement, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the resistance movements. The challenge, of course, will be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces. Lynn, why don't you question the residents in the eastern half of town? Arizay and I will do the same in the west, and afterwards we can rendezvous here to share our findings. Of course you get to take the easy side. I know somebody over there that could probably give me information. Oh. My behemoth's doing some crazy stuff. The resistance, them divine, if I've been any use to them. If you set store by all these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you, but I'm too old for the masks bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we got used to it. Oh. Oh, I see you there, going around asking questions. Looking for the Griffin and his lot, I'll bet. Seems to talk a little Alamigo these days. Folk wondering what he's about and what he's got in store for the Guardians and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's already got a face with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire. That they'd send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. Ah, let me guess, come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamacan's heart, he's also inspired more than a few old dames to pledge themselves to the cause. And little wonder the Guardians won't stop until we're all under the yoke. I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. This Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance, the Masks. Yet despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them, only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent history, or recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamegan liberation is unrivaled. We can but hope their revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments. Yet we lack proof. I cannot... Why? Anyway, before taking any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions, and mayhap enlist his help while I'm about it. Given that you and Gundabald are already acquainted, mayhap it would be best if you took a lead. Shall we? That's what I was thinking. Gundabald would surely know what's happening. I need to talk to these other random people. Much as it pleases me to see you again, Lynn, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking many questions. The Griffin, I know of him, as do we all. He and his mask have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first, given his secretive ways, quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. I'm burping. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished, but I have not forgotten Wilbert. I was blind to the danger of his ambitions, and you were not. Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken Temple of Corn. Go and see him with your own eyes. Raise words with your own heart. How convenient. 'Tis but a pity Thancred is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. Alright. Time to go and listen to the Griffin. Has it already begun? I hear voices coming from within. I have voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. Or they something. It's been a while since I heard that song. It's a WWE thing, by the way.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out. Building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country. Or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us, and they have murdered us. But no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you. For we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it. And together, we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Arbania once more.
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
Oh, hi.
doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Words cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. And to you, though, it was pretty obvious you and Lynn would be fine. Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by the better part of Eorzea. But if you truly believe that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Repaying a favor. After the banquet we had no choice but to flee Ul'dah, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends in the Resistance. That's right, they smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamico, all at a great risk to themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while. When we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves and that General Raban had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact, but having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gathered from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the Masters are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they're pretty strict about the communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the Scions with the Seventh Dawn. Curious, it is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not in fact a Griffin, but an impersonator, and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of the public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all, the secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. What? It's not as if I'm making all of you wear one, and mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man For all the good it did. And now you've heard the whole of it, but tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in a Griffin? Summoning? You're not serious. I can't believe it. Resistance would never even entertain such a ridiculous plan, but the Griffin, well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late. I confess I had assumed it to be mere bluster, but in the context of the shipments of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find it out together, and if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed. That is assuming you'll have us. And with that, my friends, that's going to be it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Just As I Was Playing Final Fantasy XIV, and next episode we're going to go and continue with the MSQ. I did not want to... Anyway, bye.